Hey guys, Cinder Ash here, just staring at Hadron's butt just like everybody else in this game. But we're here to do a quick overview of my Ogryn build, explain the ups and downs of it, and just kind of go over a lot of the different aspects and playstyles that you could do with your Ogryn. So let's get started. First off, we have the Bull Butcher Mark III Cleaver, which I believe is to be one of the best melee weapons that you can get. For your Ogryn, you can of course go a more defensive playstyle with an Auric, Battle Maul, and Slab. Both are very, very good. I personally just like the Bull Butcher Cleaver a lot better. You're going to want to be focusing damage, first target penetration, and cleave damage, because you're going to be doing a lot of cleave with this. I also put some damage into flak armored enemies as well as infested enemies, because I'm just going to be using this to clear out all the things that are on top of me that I'm going to be meleeing. My blessings fell really short here. I have Savage Sweep and Thrust. Savage Sweep isn't that bad if you are doing a lot of M1 spam, because your second hit every time does a huge arc, which is good because it just means our cleave's even bigger. But eventually I would like to change Thrust out for continuous momentum, which just gives me more toughness back on combo hits, which would be significantly better than Thrust. Up next, we have my Coric Mark V Twin-Linked Heavy Stubber. I got shafted a little bit on the Charmed Reload. I would have preferred to have gotten the maximum benefit, which would have been 8 bullets loaded on a critical hit, but I also like this. It just allows more DACA. And then Roaring Advance also isn't super bad for how I use the Coric. I use it for a lot of heavy suppression and just kind of running enemies down. This is really good because it's got high damage, high ammo, good range, good collateral. Stability is definitely something that's not needed for the Coric. It's very just aim and you'll kill it. I put damage for Carapace Armored. I do want to change the 8% eventually to be flak armored as well, so you should ignore that, and then I'm going to obviously change it to a flak once I get some more crafting materials, just because I've been super... Up next is the Coric Mark V Twin-Linked Heavy Stubber. As you can see, I have pretty much max damage, maxed ammo, almost maxed range, very high collateral, and a pretty mediocre stability. That's okay. This gun is pretty much just, you aim in a general direction and shit dies. So, I highly recommend this. It's very good. If I could, I would have definitely swapped my ammo and my collateral around a little bit, but that's still not too bad. My perk, the 8% range damage, I need to change that. I would put that to a flak armored enemy, and then the 20% damage of Carapace is perfectly fine for now until we get to some better content gear. Hopefully after Transcendent gear we get something like Exterminatus gear. That's what I would assume would be next for a game like this that allows us to progress a little bit better with red or whatever color they decide to do. Blessings, Charmed Reload. I got shafted. Not the greatest Charm Reload, but you know, it's plus 6 bullets instead of plus 8. So it's not too bad. This gun does crit fairly easily, especially with how bad the stability is. I'm often hitting criticals without even meaning to. And then Roaring Advance, move speed while firing. It's pretty good for laying down some covering fire. Not entirely necessary. There are some better options that you'll see in my Ogryn video over weapons, melee, and range, because there's not that many for the Ogryn. But it's good for the way that I use it. We're going to be running as much maximum health as possible. Stamina regeneration is pretty mid, but it's not bad for the Ogryn. Damage resistance to mutants, always very good, because mutants punch you more than any of the other classes do. You take 4 punches instead of 3. Damage resistance to snipers, because you're Ogryn, you don't really have a good ability to take care of snipers, so damage resistance against them is always nice. Another plus 20% max health. Damage resistance to Tox Flamers, always nice. Damage resistance to Bombers, always nice, just to have a bunch of damage resistance. And then having a 15% chance out Curios as a mission reward instead of a weapon. Not the greatest for endgame, but it will eventually help me get rid of both of my 130s and get closer to this one, which is a plus 90% max health, so 1% off from being the best that I can get. But I do have 20% damage resistance to snipers, which gives me a total of 35%. I get plus 15 corruption resistance, which is amazing, and then a 4% combat ally ability regeneration, which is great because I will use it mostly just for toughness and running stuff down. Onto the feats. I run Linchpin because I believe toughness replenishment while you're within coherency of your allies is really nice. It allows you to get that back in a variety of means, whether it's just toughness regen on your weapon, on your accessories, anything like that. Anything that gives you toughness, this gives you 100% boost to it, making it very nice. There are other perks for melees, but I prefer to be an M1 spammer. It's just easier for me. It doesn't cramp my hand as much, but you can also do a heavy build. This is purely just a left-click build. Next up, heavyweight. Extra melee damage against Bulwarks, Crushers, Plague Ogryn's, Reapers. And then obviously the damage reduction against them is also very nice, so that way you don't get absolutely shredded when you're in the line of fire and doing stuff like that. Bombs away is okay. It's not the greatest. It used to be a lot better. It's gotten some reworks and changes, so I don't really prefer to use that. Plus, the box does a lot of damage on its own that you wouldn't need it to open the grenades and release them all over the target. Again, Blood and Thunder, it's a heavy melee hit. We're not using heavy melee. Towering Presence gives you plus 50% coherency radius, so that way if you're a little bit ahead of everybody because you are the Ogryn and you used your combat ability, you're going to be a little bit away from people. This still allows you to get the Linchpin, so it allows you to keep gaining that toughness. Lead the Charge isn't too bad if you're doing more of a speed run. I personally used this when I was doing my 6 bull rushes on Ogryn enemies in general to get that penance done. Just to keep my allies in range, especially the Psychers and stuff who allow you to get your combat ability back quicker if you decide to use a lot of your combat ability more and more often and more frequently. Same with Bullfighter. This is definitely another one that I used for my Ogryn penances, as well as some of my other ones with the Ogryn. Like the one where you need to knock down 70 enemies in a charge. This helped me get that, or the other one that you have to go 40 meters within like 2 charges. This also helped. Next up for our level 20, we have Die Hard. You get 100% toughness replenishment while below 25% health. This one is the one that I choose just because it allows me to keep some bulkiness when I'm trying to, revive the teammates and get everybody back. It just helps a lot because you're going to get attacked, and even though you're getting attacked and you're tanking all the damage and you're able to pick people up, just that extra toughness gives you a little bit more temporary health, so that way, in case you happen to go down before you pick the guy up, that toughness will actually give you enough damage reduction to get that other person up before you go down, and then hopefully, if they're like a zealot, then they just clean up everything and then get everybody up and repeat the process. Bloodthirsty is, again, good for heavy attackers, not what we're doing this build for. And Hard as Nails, minus 20% damage taken for each ally currently knocked down or incapacitated. This got a small buff. It's still very good. You could take this instead of the toughness one, but this basically relies on your teammates being bad, and if you're playing in the higher difficulties, you can't expect your teammates to be bad so much as you can on Malice. Malice players in general are the average player base, where, 1 or 2 can be incredibly awful, but they get carried by the team. But typically those who play on Heresy and Damnation, they're actually pretty decent and know that they're, decent enough to get through the game, which is why you don't really need Hard as Nails as much. For your 25 ability, we take Payback Time. When an enemy damages you, you gain 20% damage resistance against enemies of the same type for 5 seconds. I personally like this because, again, this is focused around people who are melee-based, or range-based in particular. With this, if there's Reapers and Gunners shooting at you, that 20% damage against those enemies of those types allows you to really just cleave them down. But also, anything like hordes that come and hit you while you're chopping away, just that extra 20% damage allows you to just kind of sweep away at that. Knife through butter, again, be great for a heavy melee build, but we're not doing that. And then Raging Bull, plus 2% damage on your next melee hit for each enemy hit with the initial attack. Not bad, but since you're doing a lot of M1 combo spamming, this isn't that great, because the extra damage just doesn't stack well enough to, you know, give you the requirements. And then level 30, Bulgor, be great if you were, again, doing a bleed build or a heavy bleed build. Unstoppable, increases the distance you travel with Bull Rush, and you cannot be blocked by enemies except monstrosities. This is a good way of getting yourself killed on higher difficulties. This is really only useful for the penances, and then other than that, I don't particularly like this one. And then the one that I chose is Non-Stop Violence. You replenish 10% toughness per Bull Rush hit. So, that's basically the build. Now you're probably wondering, how well does this build hold up? So what I'm going to do is, thanks to the kind person in the comments here, who was very respectful and just asked that we show some gameplay, we're going to do that. Otherwise, you guys are free to leave here, and we'll see how the gameplay goes. Alright, so we're on Hab Draco, we're on a Heresy with Special Condition Ventilation Purge, and we also have Grimoire. So the difficulty is going to be spiked up a little bit. I also have randoms with me. Don't know any of these people. And we also have a monstrosity. So I spawned in a little bit late. These guys already dropped down, so I don't know how long they've been going at this. But we're going to do our best and just kind of go with what we got. There's also a horde coming in now. So as you can see, it's very good with the clear and the melee damage, even on the horde, so you'll be able to constantly keep your toughness up. As you saw, I definitely got my ass kicked in by these Reapers, and they're still pretty much kicking my ass. So we'll just have to eat a grenade, and then we got the kill. Now, my team actually decides to join me down here, and it's entirely not their fault. It is my fault for jumping down. As you can see, I got quite a bit of criticals, so I got some ammo back. Otherwise, I would have ran out long before I murdered that guy. But I'll be playing a little bit differently, considering I have one of everything. Oh, nice. There we go. So I'll ping that for the marksman. I'll probably ping a lot of the ammo for them, just so that way I don't take it. And you can see I even two shots like these dregs. And with this, I can just get in here in the action. And help out, take out these. And then I apologize, I also have to open mic on so I can actually listen to my teammates. Even if I don't talk to them, I want to be able to hear them because they actually might contribute something important. Even though randoms have dumb at the end of their name, sometimes they actually are intelligent. You should actually listen to what they have to say. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go over here, take this guy out, and then I'm going to back up. And even though I'm taking a lot of damage, it's really not all that much. They still have well above what the veteran's max HP is, and then they still have well above what everybody else is. And then that's from behind. He's right there. I'm just going to shoot him. Even though Sneed's going to take the kill, it's better that he does. He's the veteran. He gets ammo back for everybody. So I'm going to grab that because my grenades are a little bit more important for taking out some of the bigger enemies. and because I'm not really worried about going down or anything crazy like that, I don't mind running ahead of my teammates just a little bit, even though I'm out of coherency. Sorry. I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy, so I'm a little rusty, hence why I'm doing Heresy and not Damnation. This build definitely can work on Damnation. It's just that I don't necessarily feel like I could perform very well after.
Oh, there's ammo bags.
After being on Hogwarts Legacy, and my button presses are a little sloppy, as you just saw with me literally using F to hit one enemy like an idiot. Dogs are coming in. And since you're fairly large, you have the ability to swing at a dog before it can actually do its pounce animation. Thankfully, this veteran actually has either watched one of my guides or knows that information is the best for proceeding. Knock this guy over, give it Saggers so that way we can get some damage out on him. So we have some gunners that are definitely messing up everything. And we want to take these guys out before we start this. Because otherwise they're just going to wreck our day. This guy. Alright, didn't seem like I got him with that damage, so that's okay. I'm just going to wait till I pull aggro range and then Steve got it. So a lot of what you want to do with this character class is you want to stand sideways and you want to attack from the side so that way your teammates can shoot at them. Alright, big guy's coming in. So for mutants, what you want to do is you want to put your back against a wall. Because putting your back against the wall actually makes it so that when you dodge, they hit the wall and they get that stun animation and it allows you to murder them very easily. There's the dog. There's the shotgunner. Wow. He gunned me through my toughness and through what? 30 plus HP? That was rough. I should have probably taken one of those heal bags down below, and if this decides to go upstairs, I'll definitely go take a heal station, because the heal station that spawns here has 4 HP stacks. I just didn't take any because I'm on Ogryn and I wasn't really paying attention. I've been playing a lot of Zelda and Hogwarts Legacy, so my stuff has been rough. Alright, so coming back to help. Alright, they're up, they're good. So I'm gonna go here. We've also taken a Grimoire, and I have not noticed that we've taken one. I won't be getting my full, like, 500 HP, but I'll be pretty close. Now I'm gonna move back with my team, because it seems like they're struggling a little bit, and unfortunately for Ogryn, even though on Zealot I have no issue just solo carrying the objective, you know, I want to make sure that they stay alive, and we can progress thoroughly through this. So I'm going to actually push above because they're actually more worried about killing enemies. So I'm actually going to move ahead of my teammates. And even in the low visibility, I got to be careful because I heard a trapper. Alright, so Guts died, unfortunately, even though we had more than enough healing stations for anybody to use. Just didn't seem to want to go through with it. That's okay, we'll just rescue them when we get up. So it's that little thing. I'm going to go for the rescue, because they'll be over here. While the rest of the team can go just press the easy buttons. Alright, so now we don't have Grimoires anymore, which is the thing. So, it's this barrel right here. You can almost always remember where these are at in infestations. They are very, very obvious. They all have the same, pretty much, gameplay loop. And we'll do a push on that guy. We'll back up. Let our teammate shoot it. Unfortunately, I was a little too close. That was my bad, and I deserve to have gotten all that icky goodness on me and lost some of my total HP that I can have. Alright, so we got a horde coming from behind, so we want to put our back somewhere with the group, because we're going to have it coming from 2 directions soon enough. And then I'll ping that medi crate, so maybe somebody will take it and we can lay it down for the horde. Alright. So now I'm going to turn sideways, and then go through this horde. Guts is behind, I'm going to help Guts. I'm going to focus and loop around through this way to make sure that my teammates can shoot around me to hit anything that they need to. But we have a Psyker with an Ignatius Flame Staff, so he's going to easily clean up and take care of a lot of the horde anyway. Alright, so I'm going to provide some stagger, so that way I can take care of the things that are not crushers and let my teammates do what they need to do, and I will just tank the damage. And then, that's good. Sneed took care of it, as the marksman should. In worst case scenario, the Zealot would. And then I'll make sure to ping some ammo for both of them, so that way they can take it. And then everybody can take a hit of juice, which means Sneed. Guts will be a little low, but that's because they're Zealot, and they don't really need it right now, so that works perfectly for us as well. So pushing ahead, we have a bulwark, so we're going to wait for the group, and then I'm going to bull rush it, and then grenade pack at the Breaker, and then wait for him to throw, do that, knock him over. Now I'm out of grenades, but the team progresses with these. Normally there's a grenade pack coming up. There's almost always one before this next turnover spot, usually anywhere in there, so that goes away. That's an ammo pack. Do a quick charge, get some extra melee in, get some bonus toughness going. Guts is already ahead of the curve because he's a Zealot, and he just performs better than a lot of the other classes. It sounds like we have another monstrosity. I think it's a beast and Nurgle. I'm just gonna blow that barrel up so it doesn't kill one of us later. Behind us is an enemy, so we'll take care of focusing on that. There's a Grimoire up there. Hopefully don't grab that though. Problem is with the Beast and Nurgle, it's hard to see anything. Oh, there it is. Alright. So we're gonna pull out our gun and we're gonna actually brace it for when we start laying into this thing. We're not going to be doing a ton of damage, but we are going to be laying down a lot of cover fire, and we're going to be basically being the nuisance that it wants to focus. You do want to get eaten. I want you to know that. The reason being that it actually stun locks him and it makes him hold his position. That allows people like Sneed, it allows people like Terry to put a lot of damage into the beast. I know it seems counterproductive, but you actually are benefiting your team by doing it.
Yeah, Guts, you should get the
Alright, so we got another gunner that we're going to need to just keep dodging, and then we'll go back for the health after we charge it down. Seems like toughness regen might actually be bugged because I definitely had way more HP and it definitely did not kick on. So we might not actually need that perk or want to take that perk. I should probably let Sneed have that. That's okay. We're gonna get a big ammo and health cache up ahead, so I'm not even gonna bother taking that other health cache. I will take those grenades unless Sneed takes them. No, it's fine. Sneed can have them.
Guts, you get it.
Yeah. So there's no need to take that heal station. Like, it's pretty pointless, especially because, like, there's barely any enemies between here and there to the next heal station. So it's a little silly to even bother with something like that. Alright, stand to the side. My teammates take care of this. Alright. And then there's a Medicaid station here. Everybody can just take a sip of juice if they need it. Alright, so it's gonna be that. It's gonna be the one in here. Grab it from here. Guts got that one. Last one is right there. So I can grab that. With that guy. And just get this guy going. Alright. So because everybody's focused on enemies, I want to perform my job, which is just walk around the tree and then just swing at anything that comes nearby. So that way we can get started on phase 2. That one, so he's got that. We're gonna move towards our zealot friend. There should be 2 in there. There's one there. Oh, all of them are in there. Guts is on top of the last one, and then we can go back towards the source. We'll bull rush towards Terry. That'll give us enough room to pick him up, and then get back to clearing out the group. Even though we lost the melee damage bonus, it's better to get somebody like Terry up, who's the Psyker, can provide more CC after my CC provided. Knock down a few enemies, and then I, of course, meleeed a couple of the other ones down. So a lot of what I'm doing right now is just providing covering fire. It's not needed. It's just kind of a little bit of an extra thing that I'm going to do just so that the teammates don't get left behind and that they actually proceed a little bit better and further than I do. Unfortunately, Mr. Guts thought I needed help, which I didn't, because I have the ability to just kind of run through and get away from everything if need be. Suppressing fire is always a good thing to do from behind as an Ogryn, just because you have the ability to charge through pretty much everything except other monstrosities. So we're just gonna take the kill for that. The Hound, so we're gonna watch for behind for our team. And then I'm also gonna reload, even though it takes 10 years, just to make sure that Guts and everybody does not get dog pounced, and then I just don't notice it. It's coming. Alright. He took care of it, no issue. Alright. Then the group just leaves behind. Just clear up. And everybody can get in. Yeah, that seems accurate for those people's names. But yeah, it's just a very standard build. It's nothing special, but it gets the job done. And that's pretty much all you can do for Ogryn. It's not the most flashy or overpowered class like Zealot, where if you're bad at it, you're really bad at the game. And it's not like Veteran, where your entire specialty is to just one-pop everything. And it's not Psyker, where it's like super CC-based. A lot of it is just do your best, make sure you're out of the way and hoard the enemies, and then just try to keep everybody up and alive. I hope that explains the build pretty well and how my build works with everything. And I hope you guys take care and stay awesome. And you guys have a wonderful night.